Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is Fishman Log number 151, and as you can see, I have a pair of very frisky goldfish. These are the ones I bred a little while ago. I had noticed their activity a couple weeks ago as spring came on. So I gave the tank a good clean, got rid of all the material off the bottom, and cleaned up the two filters. Of course, gave it a good water change. And, it's nice and clear and clean now. And it has had the usual effect of doing stuff like that. They are now even more frisky. I have to decide whether I actually want to breed them or not. The last time I bred them, I ended up with quite a few babies, and I did manage to find homes for all of them, but it is rather difficult because most of my clients have planted tanks, and goldfish and plants, it's not really a good setup. I know I have to decide because I don't want to end up with another few dozen fry at least and nowhere for them to go. So I'm gonna have to give that, like I said, some thought and figure what I want to do with that. So for now, they're gonna just chase each other around and around, and they're happy and healthy. So that's one of the main things. Last week I had cleaned this tank out a little bit. This is the one that's being run by the new version of the leak-proof canister filter. Got rid of a lot of the plants, replanted them, and decided to put a box filter in here because I want to get rid of or repurpose, I guess I should say, that filter. And as you can see, it is really crystal clear now. I have a video coming out really soon. It is a bit of a debate on UGG versus box filters, and yeah, you guys can figure out what you think of that at that time. These guys are all growing up really quite well, which is the reason why I had set up that tank over there. I want to be able to, get a bunch of these fry out of here. I don't want them to become overcrowded. And this is only one of the tanks that have fry in it. You'll see a few more during this video. I need to spread things out. I mean, guppies I have need for all the time. There's never a time when I'd have too many. Even though they breed like flies, they tend to, well, in some places I put tanks walk away, and sometimes like people do silly things and fish die. So I always have room for guppies, and they're beautiful fish. There's lots of good color in all of them, so they're in demand, and I need to set up more tanks for breeding purposes and of course for raising. So there you go, these are nice and clean now, and I am in the progress of doing more of that. Now these are two important aquariums as far as cleaning processes go, and these are going to be involved in that video coming up. This is the underground filter one, and this is the box filter one, and they are obviously going up to high humidity planters. Speaking of which, by the way, I have a new design for the high humidity planter, which is going to work off a box filter, and that will be coming up soon as well. I see a difference. I'll try and show more of a difference during that video coming up. I don't purposefully try and line breed guppies. Sometimes it just happens, as in this aquarium here. They are considerably paler than my usual guppy fare. They're lovely little fish. Again, they're breeding quite well. I will probably just put these in the general population. I don't really want to like I say, get into line breeding anything. But anyway, I just wanted to show them to you because they are, like I said, pretty fish. So that tank that I showed you with the box filter, and I removed, I put the box filter in, and I'm switching it over from the leak-proof canister. These are all the plants in the back from that, and those two right there, the ones up front, I remember mentioning to you, might have been the last video or the video before. I noticed when I was doing all this that the pots that had holes in them, like this one here, tended to have greater roots when it comes to the red Luigia. So I thought I would make two identical ones, which are those two right there, and I'm going to let them grow for a while. I'm going to see what happens, if there's going to be any difference really whatsoever between first off, just the plants themselves, like whether they look healthier or whatever. And then, of course, when about 6 to 8 months, maybe a little longer, pull them out, I want to see if the roots are any more advanced or whatever. So these are the two I chose. I found these two when I was doing all that cleaning. They were identical, so I drilled one, as you can see on the right. And then I went through identical processes. I obviously didn't weigh the plants or anything, but I did pot them all up in gravel on the bottom, soil in the middle, and then gravel on the top. Now, I gave the one on the left, which doesn't have the holes, an advantage. I picked plants with the most roots, and the one on the right has none basically at all, and that is going to give this an advantage, I think, at least initially. But we'll see long term, see if it makes a difference or whether or not the holes end up winning out. So that is a project coming up. This is what it looked like when I first put it in the aquarium. It is going to be, like I said, one of those things that are going to come around in time. We'll keep an eye on it. Check in on the Sunday vlogs, because that's where it's all going to be. I thought about putting this as its own video, but it's really not much to it as far as setup, so that was, well, it's enough. You guys get to see what's going on with that, and you don't have to watch the whole video of it. Another pair of guppies I'm setting up here. They're not going to be by themselves. This is the stuff that came out of the desktop, and I'm just going to, gradually put a few more guppies in here, and then of course, go through the process of breeding them and that sort of thing. All these tanks from here over to the right, they all need to be cleaned out. I have to get rid of all those plants and get that all set up for more space for fish. And because it's spring now, I'm getting into first collecting more livestock. That was a mistake, or accident, I guess I should say. That is it's a baby salamander. It got caught when I was trying to catch a few tadpoles for a client, because they are, they have kids, and they wanted to show them that sort of process. So I isolated some of this. You can see there's cyclopses in there. I'm hoping there's going to be some paramecia as well, and I am freshening up all this, getting this all much more active. I do have another video coming up shortly about basically the comparison between doing this style and using brine shrimp. So that's coming up too. There is some significant differences, and I thought I'd point that all out to you guys. So there you go. I'm going to end up with one other tank. This is not one of the clean ones, obviously, but they're breeding in here. I mean, these are Africans. They're very hardy. I need to clean out the trickle filter that this runs to, but there's at least 2 mouthfuls in here at the moment, and of course I need to find room for all of them as well. I like these guys. They're great fish for displays for aquariums for clients, so and actually they're just nice fish. Thank you very much for watching. Leave comments. Let me know what you think about all this, and I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.